Now this particular video, I don't have my magic 8 ball in front of me, but I'm gonna throw a dart. This is probably gonna get, I'm gonna say no more than 2 negative comments. A couple. That's where I'm going with this. Maybe a couple of negative comments is the worst case scenario for this this video. So I have a subscriber, and he's on Patreon with me over there as well. And he was telling me the last couple of days, like, man, I got a woo woo psychic story to tell you, man. You know, call me. I'm like, all right. So he sent me his number through Patreon messaging, and I'm pretty sure he's younger than I am from the sounds of it. But anyways, he was like, he's like, how you have your mom who does kind of like private reading. She's not like a well-known psychic or whatever. But he's like, I know a guy. We have a friend, that does that. So it's kind of like your mom. It's not like a professional, but he's really good. We know him. We use him. And he got some crypto advice from him in the past where he told him, yep, it's going to be good, whatever. But he's like, I wanted to just tell you about a couple stories. He goes, because the guy's been, he's like, honestly, his timing's off sometimes, but the things he's told me, he's never missed a thing. And I'm like, and he's like, kind of like Sherry Michelle White Dove, your mom even. He says it's just a timing thing. I don't know why. And I said, I know, I hear you. I know that because my mom's psychic. I've watched her give readings. I've had friends that had readings, and she'd give them a time frame. Sometimes it's dead on. Oh my God, you said it'd be in the month of whatever. Oh, it happened. Okay. And then other times, nope. A year later or so, oh, there it is. And so he had kind of a similar story. And he said, he's like, I'm kind of trying to get into like acting and movies and things. He's like, I've got my, typically, I don't know what they call it, where you have your videos that you can send out to people where they can see you. And I don't know if I'll be honest, I don't know if you like pretend to act in the video or you just show them what it is in the video, but you send it out to the different casting agencies or whatever. So he said this guy had told him last year, or actually it probably would have been the year before, because they said something like, he goes, oh, it was January, February of 2018, because he was asking him like, should I even try to pursue this, and the guy was like, yep, your doors are going to actually open for you. It's going to be really good. You need to stick with this for sure. I see doors opening and just a lot of stuff coming your way, acting wise. He's like, okay. Roughly when? Of January or February. I forgot what he told me. It was one of those 2 months of 2018. He said, Joe, 2018 came. I got nothing. February, March, April, I got nothing. He goes, then later in the year, and again, I can't remember if he said August or October now, but whatever, it was later in the year. He goes, I get a call from like a very, very high level person from Lionsgate about a movie. He said to me, we already saw your videos, that he off, and I'm assuming you can sign into websites for casting and things, and they have access, producers and things and directors have access to that stuff. I don't know. I didn't get the details, but the guy told him, I already saw your video. We heard you. We saw what you could do. We want you. We got to have you. You're a guy, blah, blah, blah. We're going to, meet up for this. Can you come to this? He's like, yeah. So they're going to meet up with a bunch of the other actors, and they're all going to talk about stuff. They're going to try clothes on. He's like, Joe, this is happening right now. And he said he'd contact me a little while back to let me know. Now we're moving forward. It's going to happen. So he's like, I want to tell you that because this is another time when somebody told me psychically, yes, this is going to be good. Go for it. Here's the time frame. And he thought, really casting doubt. Well, he's like, Joe, you have any idea how many people want to be actors and how many people put their stuff out there? I'm like, oh, I know. Believe me, I know. It's probably out of control. I mean, right? He's like, typically you're going to have to follow up and you got to ask and you got to try to make, doors open. The top guy called me. I didn't know who it was. He calls me and is telling me they want me. He's like, you know how rare that is? I said, oh, I know. I know this is Hollywood, right? I mean, I know Lionsgate, you know, it's a production company or whatever. And I know that because my buddy Joe, the other, you know, the movie guy, has told me some stories where, you know, they use Lionsgate or whatever. But anyways, he said, you know, people don't want to believe in stuff. My own family, you know, whatever. He's like, but I believe in what the guy told me. He's like, everything Sharon Michelle said, Michelle White Dove, all that stuff. He's like, I believe in it. He's like, I just do. And, you know, here's another time when the time was just way off. And then he went on to tell me another thing, not related to crypto at all, where timing was off again. And he's like, oh, that time it was like over a year. And that kind of thing. So, I mean, look, it'd be different if Sharon Michelle or Michelle White or whatever giving all these people these readings and they're just throwing darts at everything. You know, a lot of stuff they've said has come true for people, except the crypto part yet. And I just was thinking about today. I said, you know, I remember Sharon that one time saying when Digibyte gets over that 30 to 40 cent range, like you better have all you want because it's fixing to go. Like it's going to go. And I always thought about that. Now we never saw that because it hadn't happened yet. But just for some reason, I can't explain it. Earlier today, I was thinking about it. I had no reason to. I wasn't even thinking about Digibyte, as a matter of fact. And but it just the thought came in. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. You know, I just kind of reminded myself about it. You know, Digibyte is quite low. It ain't nowhere near 30 cents, obviously. Or wait a minute, hold on. Was it Digibyte or Theta that she said that about? I'm trying to think now. It could have been Theta that Sharon Michelle said that about. It was one of those two because she said once it gets to 30, I think it. Matter of fact, I think it was Theta because Digibyte was always quite a bit lower than Theta, and it wasn't that. Yeah, I think it was Theta. She said she felt like that. Whatever one it was. Again, I haven't heard that since she said it. It's been a long time now, but and I said to him, I said, look, in Theta, right? What if Theta doesn't quite get to where Michelle White Dove thought it was going to get in a few or several years, 5 years, 4 or 5 years, like she said. But I said, between you and me, you're like, you think it might be 40 or 50 or 80, $100 if the number she's calling for are coming? Sure. And if it was, then you would know the timing again. It's just an estimate, basically. I don't know. I wish, because most of the time they'll tell you, like, whether it's financial stuff, whatever, it's like timing. It's just one of these things they struggle with. But then when they're doing their sessions, they're like, oh, well, I got a time. They gave me a time. So it's like, well, I'll go ahead and tell you guys. Here's what the time I got. It was January, February time frame, Digibyte, $9, all that stuff. Didn't happen. Do I think it's going to happen? I think they're going to be right. And I say that because if Sharon was phony, I would have already picked up on it. Like I said, she's helped me with some of this things I've been doing behind the scenes, going on little vacations, so to speak, all that stuff. And she has provided some pretty darn interesting insight that there's not a chance in the world she could have accidentally made it up and, kept me like, oh, yeah, no way. My buddy Bill got a reading from her too. And my mom, he got a reading from my mom and her. They were telling him the same stuff. So I know it's hard for a lot of people to believe. Some people get crazy. Stop with the woo-woo up. I can't stop. It's built in. My mom is a psychic. Okay. I wish I had a strong, ability. Some of my, friends are like, I think you got a little something there, something, a little intuition of your own. I'm like, I don't know. But I will say when I went to the first little trip last year, I had an interesting feeling to stop the car here by these mountains that I was ultimately going to explore the next day with my friend. He's got some private property, and there's a site that we're interested on his private property. But he was like, I want to take you to the mountain area, which is public, and just show you some stuff, And it was on a Saturday. This is a while back. And he had to work. He's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to have to work. I'm not thinking so, but I might. And then sure enough, he had to work the whole day. So I said, well, I'll just go by myself, not into the mountain, but I'll go close, the lower side, whatever, where there's dirt roads and all that, and just get a good drone run just to get used to it, more than I had already. And I flew this damn thing over to some very interesting rocks that caught my eye. And when I first took the drone out, it always wants to be recalibrated when you take it from one place to another and there's like a far distance in between. So like Florida to the, Southwest or whatever, that's a far trip. It needs to be recalibrated, the digital compass. So it's telling me on the screen, like, you need to recalibrate. I'm like, no, I'll just fly it. Maybe it'll slightly go a different way. Well, it kind of did more than slightly want to go a little different way. I'm wanting to go this way, and it's going like, and I'm like, no, I want you to go that way. And I just kept feeling, no, don't try to fight me. I want you to go that way. So I had to give it a little more stick to the right just to go in this direction. I don't even know why I went in the direction. I don't know. I don't know why I stopped the car where I stopped the car. I felt like, oh, that's a good spot. And I fly over to these very interesting rocks that you can't see from anywhere unless you had a drone and you flew right to them. They weren't real big, but they caught my eye. And I'm like, oh, well, let me practice zooming in and all that. Next thing I know, I'm seeing stuff that's telling me you need to go explore this site like on foot as soon as possible. But I'm like, okay, there are rattlesnakes, other poisonous snakes. I'm in the desert kind of climate, nobody's out here with me. My phone signal is extremely sketchy. If I got bit, not the best decision. And how far away my drone was? About a mile away from me. And not on a road, but out, like, get out and go to the cactuses and whatever, whittle your way through there. So I'm like, no, I'll just take the footage and reanalyze it later and that kind of thing. And then, of course, I reanalyze it and I see, oh, I didn't see that before. Oh, I didn't see that before. So, anyways, she has told me some things. Other, people told me things about me, having a little bit of intuition myself. Maybe I get it from my mom or whatever. And it's weird because I start. Last time I was out there recently with my buddies, Jean-Claude and Dave, I would recognize the feeling. Like, that's not just you, it's the feeling. Okay? Pay attention to whatever decision or, like that kind of thing. So, we're doing the old Snippy Cave thing, the old Emerald Cave, that thing. But anyways, yeah, I just, it was a joke in the beginning. There was only going to be 2 negative comments. This video probably will have more thumbs down than thumbs up, in all fairness. But I don't care. I feel like I need to say it. I want to just say it. And this guy I was talking to him tonight on the phone. I said, I think I'll keep you anonymous, but I feel like I just want to tell people your story. This isn't me. It's not a psychic we all know. This is somebody else and this guy reached out to me because he was so excited about this thing, the call he got and all that stuff. And he's like, man, I've been wanting to tell you this for a little while. He's like, thanks for calling me, And I just let him tell me the story. We had a little chat. So don't throw something out the window because one of these people have told you something and the timing they gave you didn't happen when you thought. So I'll bet you're off. I don't think that's going to end well. Do you believe in the thing they told you? Do you believe in the crypto? Did you study it at all? Did you look at it? I mean, you should have, right? Why not hold it? Why not hold it for a longer period of time? You have it now. It's not killing you holding it, is it? Hold it. So, my story. I'm gonna hold mine and wait. Like I said, Theta, Digibyte, all those things. Yeah, I did a Litecoin move. We still think a dump's coming. I'm in a trade at the moment, like I said before. I did a Patreon post this evening and talked to my guy about some things, and maybe a slight deviation of what we were thinking of doing. But anyways, it's just it's decisions. Do I do something? Do I not do it? Do I sit? Do I whatever? Everyone's different, but if we can have a little insight, a little help sometimes in making decisions, that's a benefit, right? So if these psychics are all telling you these are going to be some good coins at some point, I'll be honest. I wish what they got back was, guys, I don't have a date even kind of. All I can tell you is that this coin's going to be good in the near future or whatever. That one will be good, and that's it. But when they got it, they're not going to hide it. They're going to say, well, no, my guides actually gave me something. I think it's going to be this January or this whatever or fall or whatever. They say it. You know, right? I mean, if you're a phony, are you actually going to put a time out there? Wouldn't you want to put something out there where you just get to keep kicking that can, right? Like the government does with the deficits, and just keep kicking the can. Don't give them a date. Just say soon or not too far from now. You know, just keep kicking it. Why would they? Because they got it. And if that's what they heard, they repeat it. They're being honest and fair with you. So I know people are just amped up. Market recovery. When's it coming back? I'm in this. I'm in that. When's that moving? You know, everybody wants an answer. You know, everyone's trying different things to get some kind of answer. And again, nobody gets these things right all the time. It's just the way it is. Whether it's woo-woo, whether it's TA, whether it's someone in the know, someone not in the know, throwing darts or whatever. Some you'll get them, sometimes you won't. It is what it is. But again, if you have a bag that you're not going to touch, hodl bag, and you want to trade over here with the left hand, keep your hodl bag on the right hand, fine. If you just want to hodl the whole time, fine. Buy the dips, fine. Yeah, it's not a bad strategy, is it? There's no risk with that. You're buying the dip. You have the same coins you have, and then the additional. But you're not going to get more like you could potentially trading. But again, then you have risk. What if that trade didn't pan out? What if you get stopped out 2 times in a row? What if you get stopped out 3 times in a row? Oh, now you're freaking out, right? Now your emotions are going crazy. So I look back and see how I've made these connections with these people, and including some recent connections with some people. And it's so obvious to me. I wish I could just like show you in my brain, like, oh, look, guys, this is not by accident. All of this, whether it's the crypto stuff, the psychics meeting, all this, it's not by accident. So I just want to share that story. And if there's any more than 2 negative comments, oh man, I got that wrong. Sorry about that. I'm pretty certain I shook my magic 8-ball and I asked it, are there going to be any more than 2 negative comments on this video before I do it? And it said no. Signs point to no. So that means you can only give 2 negative comments. Take care.